Hey, greetings and welcome to Kinesiology 3323. I'm your instructor, Dr. Toby Brooks. I'm an associate professor and the program director of the Masters of Athletic Training program at Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center, which, if you're not aware, is actually a separate institution. We are across the way. I can actually kind of see the general academic campus out my window here, but the Health Sciences Center houses our Masters of Athletic Training program. And so I've been fortunate enough to be able to teach this course online for the past few years. And this summer is no different. So I'm glad you've joined me. I'm going to share my screen here so that we can talk through the syllabus. So if you haven't pulled the syllabus off yet, I would encourage you to do so. It's housed locally, but you can also download it, print it off. Hear me clearly right now. This class goes fast and furious. If you spend a couple of days to get going, you're already way behind. So in the summer, more so even than in long semesters, you have got to keep up. So I hope you don't have plans to take multiple courses and work a lot of hours this summer. This is a summer one course. And so we're going to be done in 5 weeks. You're going to get 16 weeks worth of work crammed into just 5 weeks. And so in order to do that, you've got to be organized. I have a daughter who is starting college herself in the fall. And this summer I'm going through with her to talk about how to read your syllabus, how to plan your schedule, how to ensure that you've got strategies for success. So hopefully you've already figured those out. You're a little further down the road than she is, but if you haven't, maybe you'll learn something new there as well. So let's take a look. This is a 3 credit hour course. So ordinarily in a 3 credit hour course, you get 3 hours per week. That's a 16-week course. So you kind of have to triple that in the summer. So you're looking at 9 hours per week compared to what you're used to. The book has changed editions. So if you go online or go to the bookstore, whatever, the 17th edition is out. I've got the online version of it, and it appears to be very minimally different than the 16th. So if you have the 16th, you should be okay. I haven't dug in deep enough yet to find out if there are a lot of substantial changes, but we'll get to that. If you've had me before, you know this screencast. I've used this for a lot of years, and COVID has made this delivery method a lot more common for a lot of folks, but I've been using narrated screencasts for a while. I've had online courses myself where you just get the PowerPoints and you're supposed to just read it and take a test, and it just didn't feel like a class to me. So every lesson has a PowerPoint, and then every PowerPoint has a narrated screencast. I do my best to try to make this seem as much like we are in class and having conversations as possible. We also will do some threaded discussions and some other things. So the goal of this course is to really just get you familiar with, acclimated to the field of athletic training. We're going to look at what an athletic trainer is. What do they do? What are some legal concerns for the practice of AT? We'll also look at some risk management things, minimizing the chances or the opportunity of getting sued, essentially, minimizing injury. The pathology is relatively limited. We're going to spend the kind of half the course looking at musculoskeletal conditions. Just a real quick overview of a lot of the common things you might see even as a coach so that you can be familiar with it. So course participation, your grade really depends on how many points you score out of 500. Okay. And so inevitably, you're going to look at Blackboard and think you have a certain grade. I will tell you, hear me again, I will tell you that that calculator in Blackboard is notoriously inaccurate. So I'm going to show you how to calculate your grade and know exactly what you have at any one time. Do not rely on Blackboard to do that. I'm not sure why. One of the issues with it, if you have any zeros, then those aren't counted against you until I manually enter the zero. So if you happen to have missed a threaded discussion and a quiz and you look and you think, oh, I've got a 92 according to Blackboard, and then I hit a 0 in there, it will just show a non-assignment until I manually change it to a 0. and then all of a sudden your grade drops by 2 letter grades and you're wondering what happened. It's because Blackboard's calculating a percentage based on the work you've submitted, but that's not the work that's required. You've actually left some stuff off. Okay, so I'll walk you through how to calculate your grade. It's super simple. Okay, we will have a weekly threaded discussion. So I'll prompt you with a question and you will reply. You're encouraged to interact with your classmates, but you really only need one reply in order to get the 5 points for that week's threaded discussion. There are a number of quizzes, 5 to be precise. These are going to be much like test questions, multiple choice, true, false. You'll also do video summaries. So I will prompt you with a question and you will answer it and post it. Those won't be seen by everyone else. Only I will see those. Part of your grade is related to your ability to post that in a way that I can actually access it. If you upload it to YouTube and you set it to private, I can't see it, you're going to lose points for that, even if you recorded it on time. So you've got to be able to follow instructions there. There are over 70 students in this course. And so if I have to chase everyone down and tell them that they didn't do it right, that makes for a very long day of grading. Okay, so you got a midterm worth 100 points and a final worth 150, and that adds up to 500. So I know the pace of this course, it goes pretty quickly. Well, I do my best to get any grading that you have, your threaded discussions, those types of things, to get that turned around as quickly as possible. Worst case scenario, a week, but more often than not, a day or two. I will try to check those from time to time. But one instance, like if you log in on a Monday and answer the threaded discussion, I usually don't log in until Thursday or Friday to check those and start grading them. So it may sit there ungraded for a few days, but you'll have another week before the next one's due. So I do my best. All right. So as far as everything else, just kind of standard policies, you're free to look through those, make sure you're comfortable with them. And then we get to the actual schedule. So what you'll notice here is I've divided this. These are color coded into specific weeks. So alternating shaded versus non-shaded. Shaded weeks aren't any more important or less important. I just wanted to be able to differentiate one week from the next. If you took this course in a long semester with me, then each of these days would be a week essentially, but we don't have time for that. So I would encourage you to chunk this out, block it out. Monday is going to be my day 1, and I'm going to do the work then. Tuesday or Wednesday might be my day 2, and Friday is going to be my day 3. It's up to you. You're grown folk now. You can set your own schedule, but I have chunked this in such a way to try to make it something that you could do in one setting. Okay. And so you're watching Screencast 0 now. So what I would encourage you to do, I know it's kind of old school, if you want to download it to your device and have it editable as a PDF and scratch through these things, this is what you need to be doing. And once you do it, scratch it off. You've done it. Anything that's a due date, ordinarily I make due dates Fridays at midnight. Okay. 11:59 to be exact, just so there's no confusion. So in a given week, you might have 3 or 4 assignments. They're all due at midnight on that Friday. The last week of the class is an exception to that. However, because of the way finals are due and I have to get grades turned in, then the due date on that last week does not occur on a Friday. So keep that in mind and don't let that trip you up. Okay. So you're going to work through each of these weeks. There will be a number of assignments you see that are bolded here, and I've got the due dates listed for you. And as you complete these, so let's say you completed the first threaded discussion, which is just to get to know you kind of thing, and you get 5 points on it. You would come down here. I'm sorry, they're worth 10 points in the summer. I forgot there's fewer of them, so I had to double the points. So you get 10 points for that. Okay. So at this point in the semester, you've got 10 earned points out of 10 possible points. That's 10 divided by 10 is 1. You multiply that by 100, you've got a 100 in the course. That's the exact same formula you use at any point in the semester. So let's say after the first week, you have a 100 here. You've got 20 plus 10 plus 10. You've got 40 out of 40. You've got a 100 going in the course. And you decide, well, I got 100. I'm just going to skip this week. Okay. So Blackboard would still say you've got a 100 because you have scored perfectly on every assignment you turned in. However, in reality, you have 40 out of 80 possible points, which is an F. Okay. So it's easy to keep track of your grade using this tool, using this strategy. Do not rely on Blackboard. Okay. Just don't. It's simpler and it's more accurate to do it this way. All right, so the only exception I said was that last week, because we have to kind of cram things in and leave time on July 2nd for your final. So you do have some assignments that are due on a Thursday, so keep that in mind. I believe July 1st is a Thursday. I'm going to double check that as we're talking right now. Yeah, July 1st is a Thursday. And then your final will open first thing on Friday morning, 12:01 a.m. and it's open and it will remain open until 11:59 p.m. on that same day. So just one day, 24 hours, technically 23 hours, 59 minutes and 58 seconds, but who's counting? So you've got to do your final at that time. I will calculate all the grades, and then those have to be turned in by, I believe, the end of the day on Sunday. So it moves very quickly. So don't just kind of get in the habit of thinking, oh, I only do Friday assignments. I try to do that because it makes it easier to remember. But you do have 2 threaded discussions and a quiz that are due on that Thursday. So keep that in mind. All right. Apart from that, that is pretty much it. I look forward to working through this class with you. I've served as an athletic trainer and a strength coach for the better part of 20 years. In my post, I shared with you how I've worked with patients, with athletes for decades and didn't really take my own health seriously. That's been a big change in the past 6 years of my life that I've made that change. And I feel a lot better about myself. I feel like I can talk to a patient without feeling like a complete hypocrite. So if you're not actively exercising, I would encourage you to do that this summer. This is the start of new habits, and habits take time to be ingrained. So do the right things, and I look forward to having you in the rest of the class. So by all means, if you've got questions or comments, email me. Communication through Blackboard is one other thing I need to mention. I don't check that really ever. Every once in a while, I might notice that someone tried to contact me through Blackboard. Email me, toby.brooks@ttuhsc.edu. It's in the syllabus. That is the best way. I check that regularly, and I promise I'll reply to you quickly, especially if it's Monday through Friday. Weekends, I don't always check constantly like I do during the day. But that's it. Looking forward to having you. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know. If you're interested in our program at the HSC, I'd love to talk to you about it. So let me know. Hopefully by the end of this course, you'll have a little bit more clarity on what AT is and whether or not you're interested. So looking forward to it. Take care. Brooks out.